Me. What's up, y'all? Double R here, RC Richie, with another one, Unofficial Boxing. Man, I don't know why I started getting into these crawlers, man, but I am so addicted. And you see the one at the top is the scapegoat. They got me all into it. That's the FX118. But yeah, we back with another one. Got the brand new Power Wagon from FMS. FCX24. If you haven't seen, they just came out with a new lineup, all brushless. So they got the Power Wagon, they have the K5 Blazer, which is right here, and they have the LC80, this one. These are both blacked out, and this is the color scheme they have for that one, all with the new brushless motor. It's not the new brushless motor, it's been around with for their system, the Predator. But if you ask me, we'll get into that later. It's the FuryTech, you know? FuryTech Venom. But yeah, let's get at it. All right. Stay tuned. Okay. Yeah, so I got you, my boy got yourself another crawler. It's my birthday on Tuesday. We're going to be turning the big 5-0. And what better way to get another crawler? Like I said, ever since I got into these crawlers, I've been absolutely addicted. I don't know what it is about them. I mean, I know what it is about them. But, man. Whoo-wee. There you go. You know I'm an unofficial unboxing guy. I'm not going to tell you all the crazy stats and all this and that. You can go to other people's channels for that. But we're going to get down to the nitty gritty. And I'm going to give you what I think about all the stuff. And not sugarcoat it. But again, first thing, FMS always delivers on their proper packaging. If you never received one, obviously you've seen all that unboxing. Very proper. Okay, let's get that out the way. Okay, there she is. This is the Power Wagon. I'm gonna be honest with you, my very first crawler was the FX118, and that was a Power Wagon style as well. The Power Wagon design is not, I'm not big on it, you know. It's definitely grown on me. And I'll tell you what, this one looks good. The other style that they had the weird little bed with the roll cage, and I just felt like it just looked too short. A lot of people would tend to lengthen them in the rear, which I actually did with my K5. But I tell you what, this looks good with this bed. But the only problem I have with this, I'm not real, I mean, it's beautiful paint job. I mean, look at that. That's like a green, man. Anybody looking for a good name for this, which I'm not using it, but man, this thing looks like Kermit. But anyway, you know me, I'm going to do my own little thing to this, so we'll see how that comes out. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, like I said, now they added this body, the 3D printed body. Yeah, it looks good. But the one problem I was going to say is that I have a problem with, it's just a little bit off period correct. They should have just made it all, they should have made it the same color. That's all. If this was the same color as this, that'd be perfect with the black rails, black fender flares. But yeah, let's get into it. So yeah, this one has the brushless motor. As you can see, it's almost like a fair RC mod. It comes with upgrades already. So we have the Batrazi. I believe these are the Mud Paw tires. Mud Pro X. And these are a 60 by 25. These are the exact same tires that I have on the LC80 that came. This was a fair RC mod as well. I'm going to be totally honest with you with these Batrazis. I'm not very happy with them. They vary sometimey. I did a mod on mine. I definitely did the foam mod. And I did the trim mod in the front. They definitely need weight. It seems like they perform better with weight in them because their compound tends to be a little bit harder, I feel. They're not as sticky. But like I said, they're hit or miss. Like I've had them out on the real rocks as well. And some rocks, they were good. Some where they weren't. They definitely performed in the dirt. But yeah, you know. So we'll see how this one performs. I'm not sure if this one has rings in here. But if you're not familiar with the platform, portal axles, again, I'm not going to get into all the specs. This servo that it comes with is okay. It comes with a servo saver. You definitely want to tighten that down. Another quick mod is to take this screw out and put it on the back side. It's going to give you more steering angle. As you can see with this new upgrade, they upgraded the links in the front and they upgraded the links on the bottom. So the lower links are upgraded, which was similar to what the LC80 comes with, but the upper links are still plastic and those are the triangle. This transmission case is pretty much the same as this one, as all of them. And I did my Dremel mod on mine. As you can see, one negative about the FCX platforms is this low skid right here. So it tends to get caught up on rocks, and if you can see that lip right there, that's a pretty high lip. And going over your breakover, when I first got my K5, I noticed that I was always getting hung up right there. So I came across a video. I didn't come up with this mod, and basically did the Dremel mod. You can see how much lower that is on both sides. We did it to the LC80 as well. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing to this one. Another upgrade is the oil-filled shocks. And look at that. That's nice. No bobbling. This one came with the friction shocks, but they do come with O-rings to set them up with oil. And I did do that with this one. Ever since I did that, this one has 20 weight in there. I never had any issues with these shocks. They're definitely the skinnier style, and they're not the aluminum body ones like this one. So this is definitely an upgrade. But yeah, man, she looks pretty good. So enough rap in my mouth. Let's get this body off. We have similar clip design like the K5. This one has 4 clips underneath. And again, my honesty, these clips are a pain in the butt. Once you get used to them, they're okay. Figure out a good way of getting in there, but they're a little weird. Okay. And I actually broke mine on my K5, one of them, from dropping the body off of Mt.Richmore. So you can see right now, I'm playing around with it too long. Okay. Why is this one so tight? Jeez. Why is she so tight? That's what she said, right? Okay. Alright, we got the body off. One thing I noticed with their wiring management, they got a lot better with that. You can see what they did in there. Different 2-in-1 with the orange casing. Let's unplug these lights real quick. I'm not a light person. I've said it before in my videos, but I don't mind the lights if they're clean. The wire management inside is clean, and as long as it doesn't have that weird turn signal thing going on, I don't mind the lights. At least I can turn them off. But yeah, here we go. We got a nice hard body. And this is cool too. Check that out. So you know your boy Richie always likes to customize his bodies. This is real glass in here. You know, real plastic glass. So we got 2 screws in there to take that out. So you don't have to worry about doing any dumb masking. If you want, they're clear. You can tin them out. That's pretty cool. So that's one less thing I have to worry about when I'm doing my painting. But yeah, like I was saying before, this is around a 1940 something Dodge Power Wagon, and we definitely gonna match up the bed, paint color, whichever paint color I go with this one. And I'm definitely gonna do some you know, some sick patina on there or something. But yeah, check it out. There goes the motor. Now I see everybody online always talking about when they see these motors, and nobody ever says what they are. But that's a Furatech motor. I don't know who's the main maker of these motors. You know, these companies come out and they put their labels on them. And I know there's other companies out here that have this motor as well and put their name on it. But this is exactly the same as that. That one's center mounted, this one's not. But yep, this battery strap I don't care for, so right away I take them off. They're a pain in the butt. If you're looking for something, just get a rubber band. You can put it around one loop, put it around the other side, and then you got the same thing going on, you know? It's a little wider, but it works. So I'll play around with that. But yeah, we got the same battery, 380 milliamp. Got the servo mounted to the frame. The difference between this one and this one, I noticed when I took out the transmission on the LC80, the servo is mounted to the transmission. There's a bracket that mounts to the transmission, which is pretty cool because I have some future plans, and you want the servo mounted to the transmission better. So I would definitely be sourcing a bracket for that. But yeah, same exact chassis from the K5. If I decide to lower my stance, we're definitely going to do the shot keys. This one has homemade shot keys. There's quite a few videos out there if you haven't seen them, but you can just make basically your own shot keys with servo horns. Servo horns have multiple holes, so you're going to have a couple different locations. For instance, the way I set these up, I have 2 locations right now. So that's going to give 2 different ride heights. Possibly when I do my next one, maybe I'll get the one and I'll leave all 3 holes in there. And I'll have 3 positions. But yeah, this is after the fact. I made these. Excuse me. Also, these Endura Magna mounts are pretty cool. But yeah, I'm all over the place, but basically this whole video is going to be all FMS stuff, you know? But this is the K5, which I love, and I recently just extended it in the rear. So if you haven't seen that video, check it out. Basically, we have the rear of the LC80 back here. We definitely gained some bias because now we're lightened up in the rear. I actually lost 1 gram per link, and we actually gained a little bit more wheelbase, so it actually crawls a lot better. But yeah, this like I said, this one's already loose because this bracket broke inside here on the L5. I mean L5. I'm over here naming like vertebrae. Yeah, the bracket right here broke. So I glued it. Since then, it just keeps on breaking. You know, you can order it again online. It's like $5. Comes with the bumper. But yeah, you can see I did my bumper tuck. Again, getting off topic real quick, but that's another mod I did for these. And basically, it brought my bumpers in. Another cool little thing, because these definitely exit and entry gets caught up with these, and it still does, you know what I mean, but it's a lot better. I think it looks mean. These are like my chip foos mods. But yeah, what was I? So over here you see these are shot keys that you can find off of Etsy's. I believe his store is Joe RC's. Pretty cool. Same thing with the sliders. But once I saw this, and actually I created some more holes with this too as well. Ever since I moved my links, I drilled in 2 more holes, top and bottom. And yep. But yeah, ever since then I created my own. So we'll do the same for this one. Okay. Again, this video is going to be super long. I apologize. But here we go. So, leftover parts that I have because I took off the K5. So here we go. I got the brass for the front. And then if we decide to extend this rear as well, still decide because of this bed right here, we'll see. We have the rears for the LC80 as well here. So this is ready to go. But yeah, we'll play around stock first, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, man, this thing looks pretty cool. Feels pretty plush. This oil fills a little more than 20 maybe, I don't know. But yeah, let's get her going. I'm gonna start my other remote that I'm always using. I got remotes, I got batteries in this one. Hit the bind button. And this is straight out the box. I didn't charge up the battery yet. There we go, bind it. Let's fix that trim. Let's get all you guys out the way. Throttle's all the way up. Steering's all the way up. So yeah, right here you can see what I'm talking about with this screw right here. So by you taking it out and moving it to the back, you're going to gain a little bit more steering. So that's one mod you can do. I wonder if this one has any slop. Let's look at the motor. Oh, that had 0. Let's do that again. Let me get a little closer. That has way less slop than the CR18P does. Wow, that's nice. Is it on brake reverse? Yep. What is that switch? Okay, I'm back. I had to figure out this brake reverse situation. For the life of me, I could not figure out these diff switches. What was the proper orientation? I actually even sent them an email to see if somebody could reach back because I couldn't figure out anything. But turns out I went back to the remote that it comes with, and this is a V6, which is probably the latest remote that they have. So I believe now all these settings are different. So I just left it just the way that it is. And that's the settings right there. So now we have straight to reverse. So I don't know if the other remotes can be used and get that same function going on. But like I said, this is the V6. So yep, we got it going. Let's take off this. Jeez. Okay. But yeah, there we go. We all charged up. Now we're just gonna take her over to the course and see how she does bone stock. I'm not gonna even put rubber bands on it. Normally I will probably put rubber bands in the front, but we're gonna run it stock and see how she does. For those that don't know, you have to long press the channel 4 button and the lights come on. Alright, let's get over to Mt.Richmore. Okay, I'm gonna do this video all on tripod because right now, since I'm using the new remote, I don't have my adapter set up for my phone. So here we go. Just bear with me. I'll be pausing in between shots. Excuse that noise right now. Ooh. HOG. Goes our first official flip. Looks like this, we're going to hit this a little softer. Woo. Definitely getting our first abuse. Alright, let's hit that one more time. Let me turn these lights off. I don't want to keep shining on the camera. Here we go. Oh my god. This body is definitely top heavy. You know what? This is going to drive me crazy. I just want to show you real quick my quick experiment. I'm going to put some bands on real quick. Alright, I'm back. We're going to scratch that idea. I was going to try to put bands on it, but I can't even, because of the bed in the back, I can't even put bands on the rear shocks because they're kind of covered. This has never given me so much hell. Alright, here we go. Definitely not noisy. Definitely can hear those metal gears.